This is WLKY Louisville, live, local, late breaking. Your complete news coverage for Greater Louisville starts right now.
Good morning. I'm Christina Mora. Thank you for joining us this wet Sunday morning at 6 o'clock on the dot. We want to get straight to meteorologist Suzanne Horgan. There's a lot going on this morning. We have evacuations. We have flash flooding. Suzanne, what's going on right now?
And you know, it hit a very highly populated area, of course, in the metro. We have seen tremendous rainfall. Yesterday alone, nearly 6 inches of rain officially at the International Airport, thanks to these thunderstorms that have been working over the same locations. We talked about it yesterday. We are in a moisture-rich environment. It doesn't take much to spark up some of that thunderstorm activity, and unfortunately, that's in fact what we saw. Let's get right to our live radar product. This is our WLKY Super Doppler, and we'll show you exactly where we're continuing to pick up some moderate rain. Now starting to push into sections of Oldham County, Buckner, Brownsboro, Crestwood, Pewee Valley. Also into the eastern sections of Jefferson County, Eastwood, just outside Middletown, outside Anchorage. These are areas that have already been hard hit with heavy rainfall. We are continuing to see some pockets of very heavy rainfall near Georgetown, Edwardsville, over into the Greenville area. You're seeing very heavy rainfall right now. This is heading into the Floyd's Knobs area, just outside New Albany as well. So we're going to continue to have the risk of some additional shower and thunderstorm activity as we head throughout the day. We are currently seeing some moderate rainfall, and we currently have a flash flood warning in play for Jefferson County only at this point. I want to go ahead and take you to some video. This is from Shelbyville Road over by the Hyundai dealership. Look at that rushing water. This is just one of the pictures. We just got this back to the newsroom. Unfortunately, we have dozens of roads that have been closed. We talked about this before, but the bottom line is it only takes about a foot of water to wash away your car. So definitely want to turn around. Don't ever try to drive through those flooded high water areas. And we have a number of roads that have been barricaded due to this high water. We'll continue to see some additional rainfall, and keep in mind, it is not going to take much rain, additional rain, to cause additional flooding problems out there, additional flash flooding problems. Just very quickly, let's take you to the Doppler network and show you we only have that one warning in play for the WLKY viewing area right now, and it does include the metro. Quickly taking a look at the big picture here, more shower and thunderstorm activity will overspread the region, but the bottom line is we've already had nearly 100 evacuations out there. TARC buses are working to get people out of their homes due to all of that high water, and emergency crews are also working with some high water rescue. So the bottom line is definitely a dangerous morning out there and plenty to clean up. Now let's send it back over to Christina.
Okay, Suzanne, you mentioned that high water rescue. 12 people we're hearing from emergency management had to physically be rescued with boats from their homes. A total of around 250 people just had to be assisted by authorities overnight into this morning because of all this flooding. A lot of the areas that have been affected, Rockcliffe, Peabody, the Whispering Hills area, and the Guardian Court area people were literally rescued from their homes in boats. We did talk to one woman who talked about how quickly her home became flooded.
It was raining, and just all of a sudden we looked out and water had just shoved in, just like it just pushed it in. It was that bad.
Now, many roads in the metro have also been barricaded. If you're hitting the road this morning, if you're leaving your home, if you have to go to a church service this morning, maybe check out our Facebook page. We have a long list of dozens of roads that are barricaded this morning because of this wet weather. Some major ones include National Turnpike at the Outer Loop, Shelbyville Road eastbound to South Snyder Ramp entrance, and Hurstbourne Lane at 6 Mile. Again, if you want to look at all of those roads that have been barricaded this morning, right now, go to our Facebook page. We have that long list for you there. Again, 250 people had to be assisted from their homes. 12 of them was actually the rescue, like that video you just saw of people being rescued by boat. Again, this is something that emergency management is monitoring all morning long, and they'll do so throughout the day. Suzanne, I know this is going to be a day-long event, right?
Unfortunately, we are looking at additional shower and thunderstorm activity as we work our way throughout the day today. Some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall certainly still going to be a potential problem for us. And because we have already seen such heavy rainfall, Christina, it doesn't take a whole lot to exacerbate those problems. And you'll notice by taking a look at our WLKY Super Doppler. Now, this is our live radar product where you can see that line of very heavy rainfall pushing through sections of Cord and moving through the knobs right now. starting to push into the very western sections of Scott County right now. And we are already going to see, again, some additional problems due to some heavy rainfall. The ground is saturated. It doesn't take much to cause some additional problems out there. I want to go ahead and quickly, if we could, show you one of the videos that we had posted to our Facebook page. This is from yesterday when we saw all of that heavy rainfall into the Jeffersontown area. This was sent to us from Jessica Carey. And of course, you can see all of that rushing water right there. High water rescues, as you mentioned, Christina, and will continue to have the risk of more high water out there. Let's take you to the Doppler network right now and show you the big picture. This is an overall perspective right now. We have a cold front that's slowly moving through the region. Part of the problem is that it is moving slowly, so that's what allows us to see more shower and thunderstorm activity, unfortunately, move through the region. As far as the rainfall totals from yesterday, they were significant. Officially at the International Airport, we saw nearly 6 inches of rain. It was the third wettest day ever on record for the Louisville area and the wettest day ever in October. So the bottom line is a significant rain event for us. We continue to have a flash flood warning that is in play for Jefferson County right now. And it looks like as we head throughout the day, we do have the potential to perhaps see a few stronger storms, primarily for some of our eastern communities, as that cold front continues to slowly move through the region. The good news is once we head back to work tomorrow, while we will have cooler air moving through and it will be breezy, we are looking at mainly dry skies, maybe just a couple of spotty showers out there. Christina, back to you.
Susan, I also want to mention we did just a short time ago talk with Jody Duncan at the Emergency Management Agency. She told us there were those two shelters set up, one of which American Red Cross is at Atherton High School. They already had about 13 or 14 people there this morning because they were evacuated from their homes. So that is definitely something we'll be monitoring. Also, I believe Erica Coghill is at Guardian Court this morning where some of that major flash flooding was going on. Erica, what are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Christina, a lot of water and a lot of damaged cars from this flooding. 82 people have been evacuated in this area, understandably so. I want to show you exactly why. Take a look down at my feet. Even now, as I'm walking, the water just gets deeper and deeper and deeper as I keep walking. You can just see how deep it gets. And if we can have the photographer look back here through the parking lot, you can see where the cars are almost underwater. I mean, not completely, but it was a lot worse earlier this morning and late last night. People who live here tell me that the water was waist high at some points, and all the way back there at the apartments in the very back there's actually water inside of those apartments. People were evacuated here by boat, and this morning there are people over here whose cars were actually pushed over against the apartments, and they're trying to get their cars out of that area. A lot of them are stuck, a lot of damaged vehicles, but the good thing is people here are safe. Again, 82 people evacuated. There are some shelters that people were sent to. I want you to take a look again here at this video. Now, authorities did come out here, and like I said, they evacuated 82 people. And the shelters people were taken to Greater Faith Baptist Church, that's on Gathright Drive, and then Atherton High School. So those are the two shelters that are open for people, and the TARC will be transporting people. If you need to get to work, if you need to get somewhere, the TARC will be available for you if you do not have access to your vehicle. One thing I do want to just make you aware of: do not go in an area. If it looks like there's water, do not try it out. I was told by people who live here that people tested out the waters here in the parking lot because it doesn't look, by just looking at the parking lot, you can't really tell how deep this water is, but it is very deep and it's a dangerous situation, or it could be very dangerous. For now, reporting live, I'm Erica Coghill, WLKY News.
Okay, Erica, thank you for that update, and we'll certainly be checking back in with her throughout the morning. Right now, let's get another update from Suzanne.
All right, thanks a lot, Christina. We're continuing to see some pockets of moderate, if not heavy rainfall starting to move into the region right now. We've already had concerns, of course, with flash flooding. More rain on the way for your Sunday. We will talk about when you can expect some relief coming up.
Welcome back. 6:12. A whole lot going on this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I know so many of you are going to be waking up this morning and you're heading down to your basement and you're seeing a huge mess.
Yeah, well, Walter, one of our production crew members, couldn't come today because his basement's underwater.
And we have some apartment complexes where the parking lots, unfortunately, have been absolutely inundated with heavy rainfall. And now they've got high water, so no one can leave the apartment complex.
Yeah, and Erica, I don't know if we have this live shot yet or if we're going to be getting some of that video. Erica was saying
the video from
some
the
of the cars were actually being moved from the water. It doesn't take much for it to lift, to lift the car, and there's some of that video, or I think that's a live shot, I'm not quite sure. It's video. Of them, those people right there having to be rescued from their homes. I know we did talk to emergency management. They said 12 different rescues just like that one you saw, and then 250 assists in the metro area, meaning they just needed help to leave their homes. So a lot of flooding issues.
And Jody Duncan from Emergency Management said, go ahead, call 911 if you need help. Don't attempt it on your own. The bottom line is it only takes about 6 inches of water if you're trying to walk through high water to knock you down. So, and Erica made a very good point during her live shot. She said it's deceptive. It's nighttime, it's hard to see, so you think you can walk through it. Very dangerous situation. We saw nearly 6 inches of rain yesterday at the International Airport. We're now continuing to see some rain out there right now.
And Suzanne, to that point, deceptive is a good word, because even when you're driving, if you think you can get through and you're not sure, turn around. And that's what Jody said, turn around. You do not want to get your car stuck on one of those roads. In fact, dozens of roads are barricaded off right now. We have the entire list on our Facebook page. So if you're leaving your house this morning or you're going to be leaving, I would check that out for sure.
If you need to know if you can actually make it to wherever your destination may be. I know a lot of people go to those early morning worship services. So the bottom line is you need to check out our Facebook page because there are so many to list at this point. You know, we do have some pictures that were sent to us via Facebook. We always appreciate your sending in photos of weather, provided you can do it safely, of course. We always want you to stay safe. That's your top priority, of course. This is actually from Tom Sawyer Park yesterday. There was a big cross-country meet, and you can see, unfortunately, Christina,
running through that.
Yeah, look at that, very high water. And we were talking about to stall out a car, it takes about 6 inches of water. So you know, you're driving along, it doesn't look that high, but the bottom line is 6 inches of water is enough to stall out your car, leave you stranded, and the bottom line is very dangerous. So this was sent to us from Stephanie Vittow from the cross-country competition. Some dark pictures here, but Katie says that half of her front yard is flooded with nearly a foot of water across the street. And this is some video that Richard sent us from Watterson Trail. You can see, if you look very closely, the flashing lights of an emergency vehicle of a car that was trapped in the floodwaters, unfortunately. Some more photos that we have and some more video that we have definitely on our Facebook page. We encourage you to hop on that. This is from the viaduct over by Jeffersontown, and you can see just that high water there. Charlie, I did not hear you. Did you say that we have that live shot up? Okay, let's go ahead and take that live, and this is from the Guardian Trail apartment over by Preston Highway, and we appreciate Brandon, our photojournalist, getting this up, and you can see definitely some high water there. This is where we showed you some video from earlier of those boats that were taking people out of the apartment complex and rescuing some of the families, unfortunately, that were hit from not only that heavy rainfall, but the flooding concerns out there. And you'll notice, you can see with the lights on, just how high that water is, unfortunately. So this is something that a lot of people are waking up to in the metro. The metro actually is one of the locations where we only have that flash flood warning that's currently in place. So unfortunately, a big mess for so many people waking up on this Sunday morning. Taking a look at our Doppler network right now, what you can see here is now, unfortunately, we are continuing to see more heavy rainfall beginning to push into portions of the WLKY viewing area, even into sections, the very western sections of Jefferson County right now. We're beginning to see some more rain overspreading the area. So the bottom line is, as this cold front just crawls its way in a little bit closer to home, this is going to bring us some additional slugs of moisture. And it does look like as we head throughout the day today, we could see some additional flooding concerns because the ground is already saturated. It does not take much for us to see some additional problems out there. Nearly 6 inches of rain fell yesterday. That is the third wettest day ever on record for the Louisville area and the wettest day in October on record. So definitely a problematic storm for us yesterday. We'll continue to have the risk of shower and thunderstorm activity off and on throughout tonight. Some strong to severe storms are not out of the question, mainly for our far eastern communities. Some damaging winds possible, perhaps an isolated tornado, but something that we'll be watching very closely for you throughout the day. And because the ground is already saturated, as I mentioned, you see even not that strong of a wind gust, it could knock down some trees and some power lines. At last check, I believe about 1,100 people were without power in the metro. So again, we'll be looking at more rainfall as we head throughout the day. Let's time it out. This is this morning at about 7:30, continuing to show us some rain. As we head into the afternoon hours, it becomes a little bit lighter in nature, and then we'll continue to have that risk of additional shower and thunderstorm activity as we head into the 4 o'clock hour. By this evening, the bulk of the heaviest of rain should push east of the WLKY viewing area, and in its wake, some cooler air forces its way into the region, and we're looking at temperatures only in the 60s for tomorrow. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We are expecting temperatures to be much cooler for tomorrow. Middle 60s, 70 degrees on Tuesday, middle 70s on Wednesday. Okay, Christina, back to you.
Okay, Suzanne, 6:18 now. We are not the only ones dealing with wet weather. Tropical storm Karen continues to lose strength, but the storm could still pack a punch with high winds and heavy rain. The system actually stalled for several hours on Saturday, and a tropical storm warning is only in effect for part of coastal Louisiana. However, that still means high winds and potential flash flooding. Officials in Louisiana say evacuations are now voluntary for parts of the state, not mandatory. Karen is expected to weaken even more as it heads inland by Monday. Devastation, debris, and destruction. This is the site of Wayne, Nebraska, after an EF3 tornado ripped through the Midwest Friday night. Large chunks of the town have been destroyed, including the industrial section and the airport. 15 people were injured in the storm, and some families are now homeless.
Just the tree was in half, and then I turned around and realized I didn't have a house. And that was hard for my kids.
Half of buildings are gone, the crops are gone. I mean, it's sad to see that it's all gone.
State and local officials there have set up a command center with several other agencies to assess the damages and assist those affected. Heavy damages were also reported in parts of Iowa and South Dakota, where further severe weather is forecasted for that region. Let's get straight to Suzanne for another quick check on our weather here.
All right, thanks a lot, Christina. Unfortunately, that is the same storm system that's moving through our area. Less as far as wind energy, more as far as rain, of course, and you're continuing to see some heavier rain now moving into the metro right now. This is our live radar product, and you can see that shower activity continuing to overspread the region into Jefferson County. We're now starting to see, unfortunately, some more heavy rainfall into the Shively area. Bottom line, more rainfall is expected for today, and unfortunately, it looks like heavy rainfall is going to currently impact us in the next 15 to 30 minutes across the metro. And good morning. Right now it is 6:22. We're taking a look at some video that was brought back to our newsroom from earlier this morning, and this is over on Shelbyville Road for the Oxmoor dealership, the Hyundai dealership there, and you can see the white-capped rushing water there, an indication of just how much rain fell, unfortunately, not only yesterday, but also this morning. We continue to have a flash flood warning in play right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Doppler network right now and show you again a flash flood warning just right now for Jefferson County as more rain continues to overspread the region. We're now starting to see some heavier rainfall push into the western portions of the WLKY viewing area and certainly into the western sections of Jefferson County as well. So this will continue, unfortunately, to exacerbate an already bad situation. We're continuing to see some of this moisture lift up to the northeast. It will continue to do so as we head throughout the morning hours. By later this afternoon and as we head into tonight, fortunately, we'll be looking forward to some drier weather. We did see quite a bit of rainfall yesterday. In fact, record-breaking rain yesterday, nearly 6 inches of rain officially at the International Airport. Christina, that was the third wettest day on record and the wettest October day ever. So the bottom line is, unfortunately, I know this caused a number of problems for so many of the activities that we had going on yesterday. And unfortunately, so many people are waking up this morning. If you live in an apartment, you're going out to your parking lot and you're seeing that you've got high water out there. Or perhaps if you live in a house, you're going down to your basement and you're seeing just such a mess to clean up.
Yeah, and I do want to mention, I know we're throwing a lot at people. A lot of this information, you know, step by step, all of the road closures, barricades, that's on our Facebook page. And also, we are hearing back from some people, some of them worried. I know one man said he's disabled and he's worried about his situation. The emergency management crews did say, if you're worried you can't get out, if you have any sort of situation like that, call authorities and they will help you. They've already helped 250 people in our area, just, you know, assisting them in getting to where they need to be because of the flooding. 12 of those were actual rescues, and I know we had some video of that where you actually saw
the people being taken out in
being
boats.
taken out.
And you know, and that's the thing, and I think our poor Erica Coghill is out kind of braving the storm right now out there where we've seen so much heavy rainfall. So we're trying to get a live picture up from there, but that's one of the locations where we did in fact see an evacuation. The bottom line is, if you're driving out this morning, it takes 6 inches of water to stall your car, 6 inches of water for you to fall down as you're trying to walk through there. And we've already seen so many pictures of everyone dealing with this high water, whether it's the front yard or if you live anywhere near a creek or a stream, most likely it's up out of its banks. So that's what we're talking about.
And I know we've been looking at your radar. Just to speak to that, I know Charlie just told me in my ear where Erica is.
I can see her live picture right there.
It just now started to rain. Erica, can you hear us? How is it going out there?
Yes, I can. It is starting to rain pretty heavily. I don't know if you guys can see it through the picture, but I want you to go ahead and take a look at the conditions here at this apartment complex, just how deep it is now. And people who live here tell me it was even worse last night. Some tell me it was close to their waist. That's how deep it was. And these cars help demonstrate just how deep this water has been. People tell me that this water was deceiving, just as Suzanne, you and Christina were explaining. It can be a dangerous situation. I know it's not very deep at this point, but it's deep enough to mess your car up. You can see this vehicle here where somebody thought they could get out, but their car just stopped working on them once it got through this level of water. I want you to take a look at what this water's done to vehicles in this parking lot too. Right over here, when the water was deeper, it swept several vehicles just out of the parking lot right next to some of these apartment buildings. 82 people have been evacuated in this area. If you take a look at the very back of this parking lot, not sure if you can see clearly because it's raining and it's dark out here, but if you can try to look all the way back there, you can see the water just gets deeper and deeper the farther back in that parking lot you go. The apartment complex back there, several people were evacuated. That apartment complex does have a good amount of water in it. People here just trying to figure out what they're gonna do from here. Can't get their cars out of this parking lot. There are 2 shelters set up. Christina, Suzanne, I'll let you all explain those. If you have any issues getting to work or anywhere that you need to be today, TARC will be providing transportation for people. And I just cannot stress enough, just be wary of these waters. If an area looks like it is covered in water, don't test it out, or you may have to do without your car. Reporting live, Erica Coghill, WLKY News.
Okay, Erica, thank you. And Erica's doing a really great job of helping us visualize what some of you might be seeing when you walk out your door this morning. So definitely be careful. She did mention those 2 shelters. Already 13 or 14 people at Atherton High School. That is one of these shelters. The other is one of the local area churches. The name is escaping me right now, but we'll get that to you. Greater Faith Baptist Church is the other one. So a whole lot going on this morning. We'll continue to be tracking this. Suzanne is here tracking everything. We will be right back.
This is WLKY Louisville, live, local, late breaking. Your complete news coverage for Greater Louisville starts right now.
Good morning to you. I'm Christina Mora. It is 6:30 on your very wet Sunday morning. You're probably waking up to some rain today. Let's get straight to meteorologist Suzanne Horgan. She has what we need to know. There is a whole lot going on. Flash flooding warning. Tell us about it.
That's right. Unfortunately for the Metro, we do have a flash flood warning that's currently in play. And the bottom line is, Christina, right now we're seeing some heavy rainfall out there, and we'll continue to have the additional problem of heavy rainfall as we head throughout the day. So that's going to exacerbate some of the problems that we're already seeing. Let's get right to our live radar product. This is our WLKY Super Doppler showing you exactly where it's raining right now, and unfortunately we are seeing some heavy rain once again in the metro into the St. Matthews area near Bowman Field. We're picking up some pockets of heavy rainfall. It looks like right near Jeffersonville you're seeing some pockets of heavy rainfall as well. Up into the Charlestown areas you're seeing some heavy rain as well. Throughout the metro we have already seen nearly 6 inches of rain yesterday. We added to that total last night, so flash flooding continues to be a concern for us. I want to just quickly show you some video that we had brought into our newsroom. This is from the Guardian Courts apartment. This is near Preston Highway, and you'll notice, you can see, unfortunately, this is what some people had to deal with during the overnight hours. We had a number of evacuations. We've got a couple of shelters in place. We've got TARC buses that are trying to bring people to safety. Unfortunately, after some very heavy rainfall caused tremendous flooding problems across much of the metro. We'll have much more on your forecast coming up, but right now let's get the latest news from Christina.
Suzanne, thank you again. Several areas have already been evacuated within our area. There have been 82 people who have had to leave their homes. Most of those people live in the Rockcliffe, Peabody, Whispering Hills, and the Guardian Court area. People were literally taken from their homes in boats. One woman spoke to us about how quickly her home flooded.
It was raining, and just all of a sudden we looked out and water had just shoved in, just like it just pushed it in. It was that bad.
Now again, if you're waking up this morning and you do have someplace to go, if I were you, I would quickly check our Facebook page. We have an entire list of dozens of roads that have been barricaded. So just make sure you can even get to where you need to go, because again, like we've been telling you all morning, some of that water can be deceiving and you don't want to be going into any flooded roads. I believe on the phone we have Jody Duncan from Emergency Management. Jody, are you there?
I am here, thank you.
Okay, now I know we talked to you about an hour ago. Anything new that has been happening over that last hour in terms of what you guys are doing and in terms of those evacuations?
Nothing is new at this point. Unfortunately, we do have that water coming in with the rain, and there might be some additional things later on this afternoon. But as of right now, we're still holding with those 82 evacuations. Now, I did also tell you about our assist. We assisted about 250 people getting out of their homes and their dwellings, and 12 rescues. So we rescued at least 12 people, in the boats, and we have some water technicians, 22 actually, out at Bowman Field with Jersey County Water Rescue Team. They have 6 boats out there, and of course, Louisville Fire and Rescue downtown have their water rescue boats. So we are ready to go for this next round if it does approach us.
Jody, you mentioned 22 water technicians at Bowman Field. What exactly does that entail, and what are they standing by for?
Well, the water rescue technicians are trained in rescuing people from water, swift water actually. Once that water gets a little bit swift, it can drive people very quickly and bring them down. So you have your water technicians out there that have all of their equipment, have the boats, have their ropes, have different things that help them rescue people if they are in need or where they are in the situation.
And Jody, we've been posting some information on our Facebook page, and just some people have been writing in. I know some people are a little nervous and worried about getting to where they need to be. One man says he's disabled. He's not quite sure he can leave his home. What are some tips? What should people be doing if they're concerned about this?
If they have situations of flooding now and they're concerned about getting out of their homes, they most certainly can call 911, and we'll do everything that we can and bring those rescue units out to assist them. If, in fact, they don't have a water situation but they need to go somewhere else just in case, they can call a family member or something of that nature, maybe can help them out. But if they're trapped in their dwelling because of this flooding, they most certainly call 911, and we will send somebody out to them right away.
And also, Jody, I know you guys have there are two shelters set up, and there are already people there?
Yes, actually, Atherton had reported to us just a few moments ago. They have about 14 people there in their shelter. That's Atherton High School. And then the pastor at Greater Faith Missionary Church has offered their location at Gates Right in Shelton for some people if they are in need of a place to stay.
Okay, Jody, anything else that you want people to know at this hour this morning?
Just remember, if for some reason you do have to go out, we have that list of barricaded streets. I think you have it on your Facebook page. We have it on our Facebook page. Try not to go in those areas. Turn around, don't drown. That's what we want to say, is just make sure that if you do see some standing water, you just turn around and go the other way. There are many ways to get to different locations, and we want people to take the safest route possible.
Jody, what is your Facebook page, just in case people do want to check that out?
It's EMA/MetroSafe.
Okay. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed. We really do appreciate you chatting with us this morning, and hopefully we'll talk to you again today.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I do think we're going to go back out to Guardian Court. That's where Erica Coghill is. Some of the worst flooding that we've seen in our area is there. In fact, that's where people were having to be brought from their homes on boats. Erica, I think you have an interview, right?
I do, Christina. I'll get to that in just a second. You said flooding here. Yes, there is bad flooding in this area, and it's expected to get worse. You all can see the rain coming down now. There could be more evacuations. Now, I was talking with one of the people who live here. Her name's Tina Luton. She was
Okay, Erica obviously has a little bit of a microphone issue right there. We'll certainly work that out and get to that interview in just a moment, because we do want to hear from those people who are experiencing this firsthand. Right now, let's go to Suzanne for another check.
All right, thanks a lot. And unfortunately, as you could see from Erica's live shot, we are now seeing heavy rainfall pushing into the metro right now. I suspect her mic cord came out. And unfortunately, you've got some technical difficulties when you've got all this heavy rainfall pushing into the region. Already major flooding concerns in the metro, and now, unfortunately, that is about to get a little bit worse as more heavy rainfall and moderate rainfall is pushing in, because the ground is already saturated right now. Unfortunately, it's not going to take much to cause some additional flooding problems. You can see a few of the locations currently picking up some pockets of heavy rainfall right near Browns Lane. It looks like right over near Hikes Lane, also seeing some very heavy rainfall right now. As we take you a little bit farther to the north and over into some of our eastern suburbs, you can see near Worthington, Springhurst, you're seeing some pockets of heavy rain. Over into the Prospect area, Utica, you're seeing some moderate to heavy rainfall right now. As I mentioned, we have seen nearly 6 inches of rainfall yesterday, and now we're continuing to see some pockets of heavy rain. As you travel up 65 up near Clarksville, also picking up some heavy rainfall. We'll continue to track some of this thunderstorm activity and, of course, unfortunately, some additional flooding concerns as we head throughout the day.
Now, your WLKY weather with Suzanne Horgan.
And good morning. Right now, you're taking a look at some video. This is from Shelbyville Road over by the Hyundai dealership, and you can see the rushing water out there. This after seeing record-breaking rain yesterday, and it looks like, unfortunately, more rain is making its way through the metro right now. Let's go ahead and get you to the Doppler network and show you what's going on here. We are continuing to see some pockets of heavy rainfall, so we do in fact have a flash flood warning in place right now for the metro, and that will continue throughout the morning hours and into the early afternoon. Now we're continuing to see more shower and thunderstorm activity lifting up to the north right now. This is associated with a cold front that's going to be slowly creeping its way through the area. That's part of the problem. It's not moving all that quickly. That being said, that's going to cause us some additional flooding concerns. It's not going to take much. The ground is already saturated after seeing that record-breaking rain yesterday. So as we continue to see more rainfall push through the region, we'll continue to see some flooding concerns, unfortunately. As we head throughout the day today, as this continues to move through, it's not out of the question for us to see some stronger storms fire up for our far eastern communities later this afternoon. Officially at the International Airport, nearly 6 inches of rain fell. This was the third wettest day on record and the wettest day in October ever. As we go ahead and take a look at your forecast for today, we will see off and on shower and thunderstorm activity for today. Strong to potentially even some severe storms are possible, mainly for our far eastern communities. This includes the potential for some damaging winds, perhaps even an isolated tornado. And we are looking at that ground already saturated. So when you have the ground saturated and you have even a wind gust that's not terribly strong, it can bring down trees. So that's something that we'll be watching very closely for you throughout the day. As we make our way throughout the day today, we'll be looking at some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity continuing to impact the region into the afternoon hours. We'll still have that risk of some additional rainfall into this afternoon, this is 4 o'clock, still showing that risk of some rainfall. Heaviest of rain by tonight pushes a little bit farther off to the east, and then in its wake, finally, some drier air moves into our area with some much cooler air behind it. Here is a look at our 7-day forecast. And we are looking at temperatures that are going to be cooler for tomorrow. In fact, temperatures will be falling throughout the day as that cold front crawls through the region. 70 degrees on Tuesday, middle 70s on Wednesday. Thursday coming in at 76 degrees. Friday, 78 degrees with very quiet weather. Bottom line is, Christina, we have seen such a mess so far this morning. We're now continuing to see some moderate rainfall pushing through the area. So it's not going to take much. We have a number of pictures that have been posted to our Facebook page. We appreciate everyone sending in those pictures. I don't know if we're able to maybe talk a little bit about some of those pictures and some of the video that we've seen.
Well, you know, one thing I did want to mention, this is affecting all of us, and we were supposed to have a person from the Kentucky Science Center come in and do a really fun interview. Well, all of this weather has affected her. She's hit some roadblocks, so we'll try to get her on another time when we're not inundated with weather information. Also, people are sending us messages saying they've been up all night because of the rain and all of the noise. So,
and unfortunately, we have many people who are waking up this morning, going down to the basement and realizing the mess that has been left for them. We've had a number of evacuations, and you were talking about road closures. We have some of those road closures on our Facebook page.
Yes.
It's a good thing to check before you head out maybe to your early morning worship service, because the bottom line is we've got dozens of roads that have been shut down due to high water. And we were talking about it. It's deceptive. The sun still is not up yet. So you see what looks like shallow water out there. 6 inches of water is enough to stall your car. A foot of water is enough to move your car.
Yes.
And 6 inches of water is enough to knock you down. So it doesn't take that much water. Water has a tremendous amount of force with it, so it can really, really cause some major problems out there, even though it doesn't look like much.
Right, and even Erica was showing us, you know, it's great visuals. She was telling us it might not look like it's going to be impactful, but it certainly can make a difference. So if you're going down a road this morning and you don't think it's safe, turn around and make that call. I'm just told we do have Erica Coghill, who is at Guardian Court, where some of that major flooding is going on. Erica, I know we lost you before we figure out our microphone issues. What is going on?
Yeah, Christina, so there is some pretty good flooding here right now, and it's continuing to rain, as you can see. So there could be more evacuations. So far, 82 people have been evacuated in the area, and the rain's picking up now. I don't know if you can tell, but I was talking with a woman who lives here. Her name's Tina Luton. She was telling me just how bad the situation was here last night. She says the water was even deeper than it is now. So Tina, if you could come here, we're going to ask you a couple questions. Can you tell us just what it was like last night when all of those cars started going underwater?
It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before.
You said you've lived here for a while. Can you tell us how this compares to the other flooding that's happened at this apartment complex?
This is by far the worst. Since I've been here 7 years, and yeah, this is by far the worst.
Okay, so people were evacuated last night by boat here. Can you tell us what you saw, the situation with all the vehicles in this parking lot as far as the flooding goes?
The vehicles, a lot of people, as you could tell, moved them like themselves. But when the people was in the boats, I can't even acknowledge it. Like, it just doesn't seem something that you normally see here in Louisville.
So Tina lives in this apartment complex right here, which you can tell water has not reached here, but last night it was a different story.
Oh yeah, it was almost in the building. It was so high.
And can you tell us what happened with the apartment complex back there, just not too far from you?
They are actually flooded. The 4 bottom apartments are completely flooded.
So that just gives you some insight to how serious the situation was here. A lot of people are without their vehicles this morning. I want to take a look back over here where a lot of that major flooding did happen. You can see some vehicles, Brandon, if we can just take a look right over here, a vehicle with its lights flashing. It's just stuck because some people thought that they could get out of this parking lot. They thought that they could just drive right through this water to get their car to safety, but it actually ends up just damaging your car. And a lot of people, like I said, their vehicles are just stuck there, submerged. Well, not completely submerged, but you know what I mean. The part of the vehicle is underwater. So 2 shelters are open for people who have no place to go. Atherton High School, and the other one is the Baptist Faith Church. Actually, Christina, Suzanne, I may need to have you guys say that. I can't get to my notes here because it's raining so badly. just be careful out there. If it looks like the water is flooded, or if the road has some water on it, it could be flooded. You don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk your car being damaged. For now, reporting live, Erica Coghill, WLKY News.
Erica, yeah, I've got my notes right here. I can help you guys out. It's Greater Faith Baptist Church in addition to Atherton High School. And Jody Duncan from the Emergency Management Agency said they've already had 14 people who are at Atherton High School because what Erica is showing us, that's what they are seeing at their homes.
And unfortunately, if that water comes into your house, there's nothing you can do. You've got electronics and everything else. It's not safe to be in your house if you've got standing water in there. So you have to be evacuated. Good news is they've got some TARC buses. They've got the Red Cross out there to help people. And as Erica mentioned, you know, it doesn't take much to stall out your car. Notice that she was showing you some SUVs that were stalled out. So sometimes you think because you have a higher terrain vehicle or a more high profile vehicle that you can get through that, but unfortunately that is not the case. And we even saw some cars that were moved. 12 inches of water is enough to move your car, even if you have one of those high profile vehicles. And you can see, this is some of the video from earlier this morning of unfortunately some of those poor people who had to be evacuated from their homes. So the bottom line is we have dozens of roads that have been shut down. If you're trying to head out, unfortunately, you may encounter quite literally some roadblocks out there, Christina.
Yeah, I think the latest numbers so far this morning, 12 rescues. So 12 people, what you're looking at, 12 people had to go through that, take a boat from their home to a safer place, 250 assists that authorities had to help in, just in terms of people, you know, getting from their home to a safer spot. So if you are concerned, authorities say go ahead and call them if you're worried about that.
Right. Don't take any risks. And in fact, that's exactly what Jody said. You're better off calling the authorities. They'll come out to help you. And they've got obviously like dozens of boats. They've got people that are on standby right now. Emergency management is well aware of the situation. Better for you to stay safe than to take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, actually, Suzanne, 22 water technicians are standing by at Bowman Field. So they're ready. You know, they're handling this situation. They're monitoring just like you guys are and just like we are. So, and
we're still seeing rain out there right now, Christina.
And we're going to get to that right after the break. But first, let's take a look right here at the lottery numbers. Hopefully you're a lucky winner. Powerball numbers 11, 12, 17, 39, 40. Powerball is 5. No big winners, so the jackpot grows to $108 million. And the Mega Millions is $14 million.
And good morning. Right now it is 6:53. We're continuing to see some rain across the region right now, impacting the metro where we already have a flash flood warning in place. I want to zoom into a few locations where we're currently seeing some pockets of heavy rainfall right near Bowman Field, seeing some very heavy rain there into the Seneca Gardens area, also picking up some pockets of heavy rainfall so far this morning. Fairmead, Parkside, Norborn Estates, you're picking up some pockets of heavy rainfall over into the Beechwood Village area, St. Matthews, Bellwood, all seeing some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall right now. Also into sections of Prospect, moderate rain for you. Over into the eastern suburbs, over closer to Oldham County, you're seeing some moderate rainfall so far this morning. Also picking up some pockets of heavier rainfall near Utica. I want to go ahead and show you some of the pictures that were sent to us via Facebook. We always really appreciate your sending in those pictures. Let's go ahead and take you. This is sent to us from Stephanie Vitale, who sent us this from the cross-country competition yesterday at Tom Sawyer Park. And you can see those cars are partially submerged. I'd also like to show you some video from the Jeffersontown area. Unfortunately, Jeffersontown hard hit yesterday. Look at that rushing water. Record-setting rain yesterday. Nearly 6 inches of rain fell. That makes it the wettest day ever in October. So again, you can see just how high that water is. If you live near a creek or even a stream, most likely it's up out of its banks. We have seen this happen, unfortunately, several times so far, not only yesterday, but also today. This is a picture of us, unfortunately, from Stephanie Samuels, who is in her boat. She said that she's near New Broadmoor, and unfortunately, lots of water rescues had to occur during the overnight hours. In this picture from Jeffersontown yesterday, this is an area that unfortunately does seem to flood quite frequently. We do have dozens of roads that have been shut down and barricaded thanks to high water. We'll have much more on your forecast, but right now, let's send it back over to Christina for the very latest on what's going on right now.
Okay, Suzanne, thank you. I do want to just mention to you guys, just to speak to how this is affecting everyone. I just got a note from one of our people who were supposed to be here to do an interview. She says the Frankfurt Avenue area looks like a water park out there, and in case you were wanting to go on I-64, it is tough to do so without hydroplaning. So be careful if you are out there, and if you have to hit the road. If you don't have to hit the road, I wouldn't do it. Now, to give us a better visual of all this, Erica Coghill is out at Guardian Court, where that neighborhood is experiencing some major flooding. Erica, what's the latest?
Well, Christina, there is some pretty good flooding here at this apartment complex, and it's really coming down out here, so it could get a lot worse than this. I want to go ahead and get right to it. Take a look at just how deep the water is here. I'm going to try to walk slow enough for you to kind of follow me. And neighbors here, or actually the people who live here, they tell me that it was much worse than this. I want you to look at this vehicle here. This is just one of several vehicles that have gotten stuck in this parking lot because of the flooding. Now, these are some of these people thought that they could get out of this parking lot. People who live here tell me they thought they could just drive through, save their cars and get out, but in that process, they ended up just getting their vehicles stuck and damaged. This one still with the lights blinking there. Now, if you think that you are coming upon some water, I would suggest don't risk it because it's very deceiving. I know Suzanne, Christina, we've all been talking about that all morning, how deceiving the water really can be. You're just not sure how deep it'll be. Even as I was walking through this parking lot, if we can take a look back the other way, don't mean to have you guys going in circles here. If you all can see all the way back here, it gets more and more and more and more shallow. And it's really hard to tell. You can't really tell that as you're walking, it's just gonna drop it down, and it really does. It drops down in certain areas, so be careful out there. Just don't go out if you really don't have to. If you have to get to work or somewhere and you don't have a vehicle because it is stuck in the water, TARC is providing transportation for people. There are some shelters out there if you don't have anywhere to go, because one of the apartment complexes here actually has water in it. It's pretty flooded, so the people there had to be evacuated. Many people here had to be evacuated by boat. Again, 2 shelters open, Atherton High School and Greater Faith Baptist Church. For now, reporting live, Erica Coghill, WLKY News.
Okay, thank you so much, Erica. We appreciate your being out in the elements, showing us exactly what's going on out there. What we are seeing right now, we continue to pick up some pockets of heavier rainfall currently moving through the metro right now. We are continuing to watch this cold front move through the region, unfortunately moving relatively slowly. We will look for additional pockets of rainfall as we head throughout the day. We'll have much more, the very latest on this flash flood warning situation going on.